Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is Wyatt with Kryptic Pro Scooters, and in today's video, we're gonna be reviewing the 2021 Tilt Stage 1 deck. So last year we reviewed the Tilt Stage 1 deck right when it came out, and this deck has been super popular. So for the 2021 model year Tilt Stage 1 deck, they've came out and Tilt has launched 3 variations of this deck. So they have done a small, a medium, and a large version of the Stage 1 deck, which is awesome because last year the Stage 1 deck only came in one size. So let's go ahead and open these guys up, really kind of check them out and see what's going on with these 2021 decks. All right, so I just got all the different sizes of the deck unboxed. So like I said, Tilt is doing a small, medium, and large type of sizing with the decks, but I will tell you the specs. So the small deck is coming in at 5 by 20 inches. So this is gonna be the smallest deck that Tilt makes. This deck is gonna be ideal for like a younger rider, maybe somebody who is more, so like park, maybe hybrid street and park, who wants kind of like a smaller, more snappy deck. Or maybe you're on a complete right now, like a Prodigy or maybe a Lucky Complete, something like that. And you don't want to go to some big massive deck. You still want to be able to, do all the tricks you like to do and still be really comfy when you hit those ledges and rails and stuff like that. Then this smaller deck is probably going to be your choice. So this is the small variation. I think it's really cool that Tilt is doing the like kind of small, medium, large type of sizing. So I believe that's something that we see a lot in the bike industry. So you buy like, smaller, medium, or large frames. And kudos to them for doing that because it makes it super easy to kind of figure out what you want. So if you're not super, familiar with scooters and you don't really know what, if 22 is big or not, oh, okay, that's kind of like a, a larger deck, or, the 21 is going to be more of a medium, a 20 is going to be a small. So that kind of gives people frame of reference on what's small and large. So I just think that's really cool. So once again, just kudos to those guys for going that route. All right, so moving on to the medium. The medium Stage 1 deck is gonna come 5.5 by 21. So half an inch wider and 1 inch longer. So this is gonna be a true medium, kind of middle of the road deck. Still super good for like a hybrid rider, somebody who rides both street and park. Maybe you want to move up to like a bigger deck. You want to get like a 21. You like that extra wide, foot space and everything. That 5.5 is going to be really nice and comfy. These decks do have concave. It's not like a huge amount. I believe it is 3 degrees. So keep that in mind. But of course, like the wider your deck is, the more you're going to kind of feel those edges of the deck, and you're going to have kind of feel that concave a little more. And your deck's going to have a little bit more bite when you go to catch whips and that kind of stuff. All right, now moving on to the large version of the Tilt Stage 1 deck. So this is gonna be a true 6 by 22. It's the largest deck that Tilt makes in the Stage 1, obviously. So no 23, unfortunately, in the Stage 1 variant. If you want a 23-inch deck, you're gonna have to bump up to the Theory, to those more expensive decks. But that's okay, because 6 by 22 is still big enough, definitely. Full-on street deck for sure. This is great for somebody who's more of a traditional street rider. Maybe you're wanting to get kind of like a big deck, but you don't want to go massive. This is definitely going to be the move. Once again, all these Tilt decks have that dimension on the side of the neck there, which I think is really cool that they include it. All right, so now I'm gonna talk a little bit about what's different from last year. So besides the fact that there's 3 sizes, the main difference is last year there used to be a graphic that went along the bottom of the deck, and I believe on the Headtube as well. We don't get that anymore, and I'm not really sure the choice there, but anyway, there is no more graphic. All we have, like I said, is this Tilt Stage 1 graphic right here on the neck, and I do think it's pretty cool that they do include the size of the deck on the neck there. I think having the dimension there is pretty cool. So because not too much has changed, I won't go super in depth on this review, but if you want to get as much information about just the general ideas of the deck, then you can watch our old Tilt Stage 1 deck review. Just know the sizes are going to be a little bit different. But I will hit on the main things which makes this deck really awesome and why a lot of people like it. First off, the price point, which actually is a little bit different for 2021. So these decks now start at $180. So $20 more than last version. But what is cool, they did, put in that extra effort to go and make 3 different sizes which is awesome. So more choice is usually better, you know, for everyone. So traditional steel flex brake on this guy is going to be double bolted, and Tilt doesn't do integrated brake hardware, which is really awesome. Same exact axle design as last year. They have the integrated spot for the nut in there, which is really cool. What's really awesome is all of these decks, even the small version, can fit the 30 wide wheels. They can all fit, you know, 30 all the way up to 120 millimeters. There's enough room there for that brake. And it is adjustable, so the brake has a channel where you can adjust how, you know, sensitive you want your brake to be. Hitting on some more main kind of highlights of the deck is this deck is going to have the front blunt plate kind of welded, and that's going to help a lot from keeping the deck from caving in. So what you see on a lot of other decks that have open channels, so after like so many hundreds of hours of riding, you know, and doing like crooks and smiths and that kind of stuff, what you'll see is the front of the deck start to cave in a little bit, causing a lot of unnecessary stress around the neck. So what this does by boxing it in just makes it a heck of a lot stronger. And like the last main highlight, what people really think is awesome about these Tilt decks is the integrated deck ends. I've ridden Tilt decks before, and man, they are just so buttery. They lock it into ledges really good. Because you have that extra little grind space, it feels like you have a peg, but you don't get all the downsides of a peg, where like the peg can drag and do kind of weird things. So that is one thing to keep in mind, which is really cool. All right, so now I'm sure what a lot of you guys want to know is what is the weight difference between the small, the medium, and the large? And let me go grab the scale real fast, and then we're gonna see what that is. All right, awesome. So I have this little scale right here. I'm not sure you'll be able to read the number, but I will tell you what it is. So for the small variant of the deck, looks like we are reading 3 pounds, 5.7 ounces. So just a hair over 3 pounds. I'm really curious to see how much more the larger decks weigh. So now moving on to the medium. The medium's gonna weigh 3 pounds, 10.3 ounces. So about 5.5 ounces more, which is to be expected. You know, you have that extra width and you have that little bit of extra length. But just, that's really interesting to see how much that adds. All right, now moving on to the big boy, the 6x22. Let's see what this one comes in at. 3 pounds, 15.7 ounces. So a whole, almost a little more than a half pound more than the small variant. So anyway, not totally overly heavy decks at all. Actually kind of probably right in the middle if you know, had a spectrum of all the decks in the world. 3.5 pounds, 3-ish pounds, totally right in the middle. Really good for any type of street deck. So that's really cool to keep in mind. So if you guys are looking to pick one of these guys up, you can definitely check them out in the links below. They'll be there. It takes you to our website, crypticproscooters.com. If you guys don't know much about us, Kryptic Pro Scooters is one of the largest pro scooter shops in the US online. So if you guys want to pick one of these up, I will give you a little secret. You can use the code YouTube5 for 5% off one of these decks, which is crazy because they just dropped, which is pretty awesome that we're giving a discount on them. So like I said, those links will be in the description. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, you can leave them in the comments below, and we will do our best to get back to you. And as every good YouTuber should, if this video helped you guys out at all, please give us a thumbs up. If you want to see us make more of these videos or more product reviews, comment, let us know what you think. Also, if you are not subscribed to us, you definitely should be, because we are dropping a lot of more content in 2021, so just stay tuned for that. Anyway, guys, thanks so much, and I will see you in the next one.